Hi, Jeff Munn, Creating Extraordinary Futures. The last video, I asked the question, who are you? Or rather, who are you not? We spent some time looking at things that common sense tells us that we're not. We're not our identity, our story, we're not our body parts, we're not the house we live in, we're not our jobs, we're not our possessions, all those things, right? It's really clear that we're not those things, that we're not our thoughts. Because otherwise, for one thing, we wouldn't say our thoughts, my thoughts. So the question is then, who are we? Who are you? Who am I? And that's a question that has vexed science, spirituality. It's a question that seemingly has no answer, no direct answer, but it does point us to an experience that is different than our normal experience. And I'm going to suggest that you spend some time on the website headless.org, headless.org. And it has some experiments that you can do to try to get at this sense of who are you and how is it different than what you think you are? Who am I? And how is it different than who I think I am? And very, very briefly, we can do this right now. I want you to find an object within your sight. It could be a mouse. It could be a book, a pen, a coffee mug. And point at it, look at it, describe it. Describe it with objective terms. So this mouse is white. It has a coating of plastic on it. It's metal on the bottom. It feels cool. The things that you can directly observe. And then find another object and do the same thing. And do that 2 or 3 times and just get used to explaining with objective, observable terms, things like color, if you're touching the object, perhaps temperature or texture, shape. And then take your finger, the one that's pointing, and point it back at yourself, at the space, the opening that where others tell you your head is. And describe in objective terms what you can say about what your finger is pointing at. For me, it's an opening. It's a shape that has some fuzzy edges. It's the place where everything seems to appear. Certainly in my vision. But even when I close my eyes, there's sound. This whatever it is that you're pointing to is you. And when you hear spiritual teachers or even scientists sometimes talk about the space in which the world appears, the space in which thoughts appear. So on the one hand, it seems really clear that there's this stuff, my office, appearing in front of me in whatever this is. And that those things seem to be more clearly outside of me, more clearly part of the real world. And yet, thoughts are appearing in this too. Words, images, daydreams, storylines, ideas of right and wrong, concepts. Everything that I'm aware of is appearing in this. And yet I can't define what the this is. Anything that appears to me as something to describe the this isn't the this. Does that make sense? And there's the conundrum we have. Everything we thought we were was instead something appearing in what we are. Something appearing, something being created, something emerging moment by moment in this space. And if you're a busy person, you may ask yourself, so what? And that's the question that I'll deal with, that I'll at least begin to address in the next video. See you then.